There's something left to do with this old quotation about nimbus. By the way, I took the most unusual word, right? That's a clue.
Right.
This nimbus like this, right?
My hands together to partake of the deathless nectar. Forward from
What didn't we do last time about this quotation?
We looked it up.
We did? I don't think we did.
We did. We searched.
Oh, so what's the reference? Because you have to make a footnote.
Uh-oh.
You didn't do it. Just admit it.
No, it's on camera.
Look.
Look at my last gopher search.
Oh, well, who is it?
I don't know.
Well, you should make a note.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want me to look it up, or are you going to look it up?
I think you should look it up, Nick. There was 1 out of 1. I forget who
By the
it
way, if it's Tsongkhapa, it's probably Kangyur or Tengyur. Most likely. Probably Tengyur, since it's predicting a Sangha. Are you going to do it, or are you just going to eat that breakfast there?
was. You should do it, actually.
All right.
Yep, you can have it.
Okay, here we go.
I don't think you want this right here.
Not really,
The
no.
dregs of his oatmeal.
Okay, there it is. There it is. It's in a commentary to the Shravaka Bhumi.
Oh.
Okay? But there's 2 of them. That's not it. Okay? The expression is used twice in the whole Tengyur. So go back to the previous match.
Okay.
So all you need to know to make a footnote later is the Tohoku number, which is what? 4043, that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
We add a 0 because we have over 99999 books in the database, you know.
In the
Then,
symbol.
total.
But for the Tengyur, we didn't have to add that, did we?
We do have to
Oh,
add,
we
yeah.
did.
TD04043, but then how do you find it?
You put it.
You can go to the Tohoku catalog,
Yeah.
but people make mistakes. So I prefer to take the title from the book itself up here.
Oh.
Okay, so I would, if it were me, I would cut this out right here, and I'd put it in my book with an X, with a command X, like this. And you have to make a note of the folio. So if you're in a rush, you can just do this much. You know, I like to put it in bold so I don't think it's part of the book later. And you can say, I just make a note to myself, folio 1A, 69A, okay? It's nice to look quickly and see if there's any differences. You know, did he misquote it? So somebody read it to word, like Ben Kappa, Ben Kramer. Read that to word while he watches the screen.
Jikten kun la penchir tok me che jawa.
Wait, Jikten kun la penchu tobe che cha wei. Was it wa?
Agawa.
Wei is better. Okay,
Instrumental
by
bass?
him. Yeah, keep going.
Buy something.
Chugyun ting jin toki chang e de si gyun.
Yeah, that says the stream of nectar, and the original says the nectar of the Dharma. Okay? It says Dutsi Gyun. This says Dutsi Chu.
Oh.
Okay, keep going.
Pak pa mi pam shelgi bum pa ne lukpa.
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 Keep going.
Sembe nimbe so wa de la chaktselo.
Okay, cool. Good. Why would this writer be bowing down to a Sangha?
Is it in the lineage? Oh, because it's writing a mind-only text?
This is a commentary on the Sangha.
Yeah.
Okay? This is a commentary on the Sangha. So it's pretty expected that he would bow down to a Sangha. Okay? Who wrote 4043? You know, you can go to the end of the text, or you can trust the Tohoku. Let's go see. Jina Mitra. Okay?
Yeah, but it
Jina
was
Mitra.
questionable. Yeah, we did the discussion, right? And it
Oh,
was
we did? Okay.
It was questionable.
Oh yeah, okay, you're right.
And then you went to the
Okay.
catalog.
So anyway, have all the ammunition for your footnote, even if you don't do the footnote right away, because you don't want to go back and do it all over again. You just waste time.
Okay.
You have X years to translate.
Yeah.
You have X books you can do. You have X number of pages in your life. So don't waste time, okay? I got more done at the dentist than most people did in their life. Okay, waiting for Rinpoche to get out of the dentist. I did a lot of Abhidharma at the dentist. Okay, Shepataro. Okay, here we go. You want to do a mandala just to be a good guy?
Now that my mouth's full open. Sashi Buddhi Joshin Meto Dram Rira Lingshi Ngende Gempadi Sangye Shindu Mikte Uwargi Yoku Namdak Shingla Chuparsho Idam Guru Anamanda Kamneyatayami Sangye Shulam Soki Chognamla Changchu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chungyen Gipe Sunamki Dolar Penchir Sangye Juparsho Sangye Shulam Soki Chognamla Changchu Bardu Dami Kapsuchi Dagi Chungyen Gipe Sunamki Dolar Penchir Sangye Juparsho Sangye Chudam Soki Chognamla Changchu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chungyen Gipe Sunamki Dolar Penchir Sangye Juparsho. All right. Oh, it's sneezing down there. Some mouse is sneezing. Okay. Well, nah. Ona.
What's Ona?
Well,
Well then, Tokme.
Asanga.
Yeah, Sultupa means made his system. Okay.
Or
Before.
founded his system.
Yeah, before Mundu, before Asangam founded his system, Tek Chengitawa.
The view of the Mahayana.
Yeah. Jindashik Dune, what was the state of it? In what state was it staying? Shena, is this misspelled?
Maybe ZH or.
After S, we're required to use S. Shena,
Oh, really?
yeah,
It changes.
just after S. Okay,
Oh.
there you learned something. After D,
oh,
Chena. Okay, got it?
yeah.
Shena, Shena, Shena. Okay, Shena. Then what I did was I inserted the root text. I've inserted the root text here, and I appreciate if you do it the same way. Look. See? And this is very important. You have to pay attention to these little marks. Tsongkhapa has put those marks in to indicate where he wants it cut. If you go and look at Tsongkhapa's root text, which is, here, okay, see these marks? These are important. And he put half a line mark here. He says, that means I want you to break it here. Okay, so
And what's that in the Tibetan?
Yeah, what is
it's that little Dili Whopper.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Oh.
little flag thing.
Uh-huh.
But it means a major break. It means a major break. So you have to pay attention to it because he wrote the root text and the commentary. So he cut it the way he wanted it. So you have to respect how he cut it, and you have to insert it that way. So the dark here, the bold, I put numbers on it, you see? The first two verses of the commentary are the root text. Then he has only 3.5 lines of the next verse because he wanted you to stop here. And then way down here, is the rest of the. There's the rest of the third verse. Okay, the rest of the last line of the third verse, half a line, or 3/4 of a line. Okay, so you should lay it out like that, and then you should have the English under here, just for what's mundu umani mean?
Before the middle ways.
No, yeah, before there was.
Before there was a middle way.
Yeah, before. Meaning before the mind-only school showed up, before Sangha, there was only Ni.
Me only.
Yeah, okay. Before a Sangha, meaning there was only the middle way.
Actually, that break mark, it's not an apostrophe or it's a smart I don't even know
It's
what the
a
character is.
upper left-hand corner of your keyboard.
Oh, understood.
Okay,
Oh, there it is.
okay. It's a reverse apostrophe. Something. Okay. And we just chose it because it's a pretty rare mark.
Uh-huh.
It's that little flower thing. Okay. Okay. Where do you go if you don't know the what the mark is in the transcription in the ACIP system?
To the release manual?
You go to Release Form Manual, and there's a page there that tells you what each character is representing. Okay.
Yeah.
There's
Cool.
also,
And I think it's the best system ever invented. It's slightly different from other systems. Okay.
there's also a file in Learn Tibetan that has all
Okay.
why files are named the way they are.
We should put it in our translators.
That's where
It's in there.
Oh, okay, okay. And so we changed the existing system a little bit because to make it smarter and to make it less keystrokes. Yeah, Wiley is old. Wiley was a missionary, Christian missionary. We learned Tibetan from a Christian missionary who went to Tibet and didn't know Tibetan very well. And then Wiley, I think he's just sitting in America in Washington State, and he made up this thing, and it's not efficient. So why would we want to have fewer keystrokes?
Save millions of years.
Yeah, no, we're going to be typing for hundreds of years. Then we don't want extra keystrokes that are not necessary. So we cut it down, okay? And then people said, well, how are you going to get other people to accept your new system?
Love the market. Love the market.
Yeah, just put out the thousands and thousands of books and people have to use our system. That was I didn't try to talk anybody with Library of Congress. I just put thousands of books out there. Then people have to learn our system. Okay. And it's more efficient. And it's more correct. But I don't want to argue with those university people. Okay. Okay. There are less. Like H is confusing, TSH.
Yeah.
You know, that's be like putting CH for bodhicitta in the transcription, and then you'd have to put CHH for cha. You see, it's just weird. It's just unnecessary. It can cause problems. Okay, anyway, here we go. Tog making mundu.
Before Sangha.
Yeah. Tenching Dawa Chungwa Sugan. Tenching Dawa Chungwa.
Oh, the dependent.
Origination, if we're going to use the old word, okay. Tak Chekita. Takpa and Chepa.
Takpa is.
Takpa.
For the views that.
No.
extreme
Takpa means,
views.
yeah.
Yeah.
Takpa means unchanging. Chepa means, this Chepa, past tense of cut, right? Means doesn't exist. So those are two extremes.
Yeah.
And again, as I said before, these are the results of the extremes and not the extremes. Okay? If you believe something comes from its own side, you necessarily believe that it cannot change. If you believe that if it doesn't come from its own side, it can't exist, then you believe that things can't exist. You believe nothing exists. So the extreme views, what's in the middle? Middle way. Okay. These are the two ditches on the side of the road. And the middle way is in between. So this one is, everything's coming from its own side. How many people believe that? 99.99999, including insects, birds, fish, okay? They believe that. Then over here is very, very few people. They heard some teacher explain emptiness wrong way. So over here is very few people. And they say, well, if things aren't coming from their own side, they can't exist. So nothing's real, everything's an illusion, I can do what I want, I can be immoral, I can drink alcohol, I can do everything, because nothing's real. So that's the other extreme. This is called Dakpeta, and this is called Chepeta. The two extremes. And in the middle is middle way, okay? Dachekita dan Chawa. I need a piece of paper. Oh, here we go, look. Yeah. Ready? Listen, yeah. This is called Shawa in Tibetan. Ready? Listen. I'll do it again. Listen. That's called shell. And the word is chelwa, became chelwa. It means separated. Unfortunately, if you put an n sound in front, del, it means connected. Like you just had it. You just had it in your word. Denching del. Here's del, look. And here's chel. So this one you need a heavy prenasal, del. And this one no prenasal, chel. And there's a different spelling, but the spelling doesn't change the pronunciation. E and A sound the same, del, del, okay? Got it? The first one means, this one means connected, like an interdependent origination. And this one means free of, chelwa. Okay, it came from that sound. Okay, this second one with the A means disconnected. The E means connected. Okay, so if you don't pronounce it correctly, you're going to get confused. Okay, they don't sound the same to a Tibetan. One is ndel and one is chel. Okay, no N sound. Okay, okay, here we go. So this chelwa means free of the ta.
The extremes.
Yeah, free of the extremes of never changing or not existing. And you have to find an extreme word for che. It doesn't just mean me. It means, what's an extreme word for not existing? Sometimes I say discontinued. It means like something's been going along and then che. It's discontinued. Okay, something like that. The extreme of thinking that the world has stopped. Oh, I call it stopping. Sometimes I call it stopping. The extreme of never changing or the extreme of stopping. Okay. Che tadan jawani Deshin Shekpeka.
Tathagata spoke.
The word of the
The
word of those gone that way. Okay. Gongbar Jawa, to comment on their thinking. To comment on their thinking. Gongbar.
Or true intent or going thinking?
You can say true intent. Umetsu, the middle way system, there was Dele Shen Me.
There was no one.
Me.
There was no others?
Yeah, aside from that system, this lay means aside from.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Aside from that system, there was no other. Meaning there was no
Other school?
mind only school. Okay.
Is he talking about in the Mahayana?
Yeah, understood. Okay, listen. Mahayana Shirshak. Mahayana Shirshak. Extremely important word in logic or debating. Shirshak means I'm restricting my debate to Mahayana. Shirshak means foundation, shak means to place. So when you start a debate, you can say Semtsang Shirshak.
Just my
Yeah, now we're going to debate, but everyone in the room has to put on the hat of the mind-only school. Okay? Shirshak.
Is it Z-H-A-G, shak?
G-Z-H-I-R.
Oh no, the shak.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
B-Z-H-A-G? Probably. Let's go. You want to go look?
Sorry.
It's not common in. It's not common in writing. It's more.
Okay.
It's more something we say in. There you go. Yeah, sure shot. Yeah. Okay, see the red? Okay, here we go.
It's really hard to see the red.
I'm sorry, that's a screen thing.
ZH.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Thank you.
Can you make the whole thing a little bit bigger?
I cannot. Oh yeah, I can.
Yeah.
This one you can go
I can go to view. I can go to zoom. I can make 150. Oops, does that help? I don't know. You want me to make it bigger than that?
It wouldn't hurt.
one
It
word at
would
a
make
time.
my eyes feel really nice.
Well, more bright would be
More
helpful.
bright, bigger.
How's that?
More
There you
contrast.
go.
Wait, you kind of lose the.
Does that work? Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to make that brighter?
I can make this brighter.
Oh, no,
maybe?
you don't
No,
have
it's
to
the-
do anything.
it's
the
just
monitor.
Oh,
It's,
maybe you could do it on the computer.
uh,
I don't know.
I
if
don't
it
think
would
you
make a
can.
difference. Yeah. I don't know. I'm
Menu.
gonna start messing with this right
no, it's really, it's quick and easy. I did it.
It's as high on my screen as I can make it.
now. Menu.
Yeah, totally, I got it.
Okay,
I apologize.
Brightness.
there was no other system.
I apologize. Whoops, we got it.
Oopsie
had it.
boopsie.
Just
Yeah.
go over, yeah,
Here,
Brightness.
here.
Down, down.
Yeah.
Anyone feel like it's
No,
doing
it
anything?
doesn't.
Maybe.
It's like
Okay,
shiny,
well,
doesn't it?
great, glad I could help.
Try contrast.
All
Just
right.
for the heck
No
of it.
contrast.
Contrast
Oh, it's at 100 already.
Right, 100% contrast.
I mean,
What
bright,
about backlight? What does that
I feel pretty confident
Oh,
that
backlight.
brightness did nothing, so
Backlight
um,
might do something.
everything's
Maybe
at,
turn down the backlight.
Oh,
what on earth?
It just turned on the backlighter.
If it works,
Turned it
if it works, just leave it alone.
Sold.
Yeah, yeah.
now we
Uh,
have to get rid of it.
Exit menu.
There.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that made a
Dude,
big
I'm a
difference.
human being.
Me
you
and
know, I have to talk about it.
me and Word can get a
I know,
suntan.
I think it's
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
There was no other system than the Mahayana, than the Madhyamika. Okay. And the only Kona,
one and only.
the only Selwa Zepapo,
The only teachings that
Zepapo,
The doer,
Oh, the-
clarifier.
the only clear maker,
the only person making them clear.
the only person who was clarifying the Mahayana was
Arya Nagarjuna.
Nagarjuna. Okay, Arya Nagarjuna. Okay. So before Asanga, as far as Mahayana schools, there was only Nagarjuna clarifying it. Okay. Don't forget the four classical schools of India: two Hinayana, two Mahayana. Okay, mind only, middle way, and Vaibhashika and Sautrantika. Okay.
It went away.
Yeah,
Oh god.
Sorry.
Adjust to the like automatic
Oh, that's
Let's turn off the same after.
Dena,
and so
Dena. Therefore,
Yeah, therefore.
Deyang is moreover.
Oh, right.
Dena means therefore. By the way, the na, which means rugo, rugo, if, in Tibetan, if you do it with the instrumental, it means therefore. Dena. It's not if anymore. Okay. Therefore, Doda again.
Yavi Samaya Alankara.
No.
No, Sutra Alankara.
Yeah, sutra, alankara.
Oh.
Getting ready. Okay, alankara. Sutra alankara. Who wrote it?
Maitreya Asanga.
Yeah, Maitreya spoke it. Asanga wrote it down. Okay. One of the 5
The books of Maitreya.
books of Maitreya. Chunjuk.
Bodhisattva Charavatar.
Yeah, entering the way of life of Bodhisattva. Okay, by Shantideva. Umaningbo,
The essence of
Essence of the Middle Way. Who wrote that?
I don't know.
I think that's Baba Viveka.
But
You wanna?
That would be way after, wouldn't it?
Well, they're all way after. Chinjuk is 750,
Oh, yeah,
right?
that's true.
This is 350, 750, and 800, I think. Soksu. In books like that, which came later, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Tekpa Chembo.
The Greater Way, Mahayana.
Yeah. Kar Drupa, to prove that it was,
The word of the Buddha.
yeah, Ka. And that's the Dani grammar case, that R. Okay, to prove that it was.
You're saying you need like second case?
Oh, Teini is a Ladin case.
Right.
It's a I don't know if it counts as any of the cases, but it means we elected him as president. Oh, I view him as my teacher. Then you use a ladun.
There's subsets
Okay.
of all.
And it's called Danish grammar case. Probably it's included under, like, I don't know,
In a
dative or
fourth
something.
case, I'm pretty sure
Okay.
it
Or
is, yeah.
beneficial or something.
Anyway, in those books, when they have to prove that the Mahayana is the teaching of the Buddha, Junwa, that's why those arguments come in those books. Why?
Because of the
Prove that it's the word of the Maha.
Yeah, because it came later. It came later. People were like, that's not, you just made that up.
Right.
That's not Buddha. So all these later books, Madhyamika, higher school, lower school, they have to have sections that prove that the Mahayana is the word of the Buddha, and it became a bodhisattva vow. Not to say it wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay, Jungma. Papa Ludupki, it just, the instrumental does what?
instrumental shows who's acting.
Yeah, who's the subject of the sentence?
Yeah.
Okay. Nagarjuna did something. What did he do?
He
He dharwa.
spread
Good, nice. He spread in the Zambaling.
on earth
Yeah, take Pachimbo.
Mahayana.
Yeah. Darwe Chepa say, when he did that, okay, past tense Chepa, right? Excuse me, I have a cold. Before that, okay, Kongdu means before that, okay?
Oh yeah, above.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, when he did that, say, Drupta Okma.
Below him? Below him? Under him?
Drupta Okma.
Oh,
Lower
Jupta?
schools.
Oh,
The lower schools.
The lower schools. Mm-hmm.
Who? The Panditas in the lower schools.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the sages of the lower schools. Namki, Rangniki, by those guys, okay, they Kogdu, before Nagarjuna showed up, Tekchen Matu.
I haven't heard of that.
The Mahayana was unheard of.
They never heard of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the scholars of the lower schools before Nagarjuna showed up, they never heard of this Mahayana. Okay. Ranki Tsemar Kelangba, Kelang Kelen,
Kailan to accept
accept as Sema.
as the truth, as promise.
Yeah, good. As being valid. So here you see Sema, Pramana, used as the word valid, not as valid perception. Okay. What's Semekibu?
The one who turned valid, the Buddha.
Yeah.
Yeah, a valid, a being who cannot lie. I like to translate it as a person who cannot lie. It means a being of Pramana. Okay. The Dana,
Yeah, the collections.
or here you could say body of teachings. Okay. The body of teachings which they accepted as Sema.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Chirikpa, any one of them. Dangmitun.
Were not in accordance.
Nagarjuna, what Nagarjuna was teaching didn't fit
Right.
with anything that they already accepted as valid. Okay? They gitsun duchene, and based on that, meaning having taken that as their reason, okay? They took that as a reason to not accept what he said. You see what I mean?
Oh, right.
Okay? So if Nagarjuna went up there and said, why don't you believe what I say? They said, look, what you're teaching, this stuff about the pen coming, it doesn't fit anything we've accepted so far. Okay? It doesn't fit. So it's interesting that Tsongkhapa is almost saying they weren't crazy. It just didn't accept anything. It didn't fit anything that anyone was saying at that time. So of course they criticized him. Okay? Get used to it. Then they said, take Pachembo, Kamayin.
The Mahayana doesn't exist.
No, Kamayin.
Oh.
The word of
Yeah,
is not the word of the Buddha.
It's not the word.
Okay? So they, based on the reason that it didn't fit anything that they had accepted already, they said, this thing that Nagarjuna is teaching is not ka. What really happened?
The teachings died out for
Yeah.
700 years.
In that 700 years between Nagarjuna and the Buddha, which, you know, we would say 400 in the scripture, something happened. It got lost. Nagarjuna wasn't introducing a new school. He was
Reviving the old
he was
one.
reviving a school that got missing, went missing. Okay. She Kurwa. This Kurwa is a short form for Kundep. Very common word in Change.
Kondep and drone dogging.
Yeah, good.
Confused the two.
This is the discounted. They
Right,
discounted. So discount in English has two meanings. One is make the price cheaper. We're going to give you a discount on this flight because you're a nice person. But discount also means to say something which is true isn't true. Okay? Someone comes along and says the real reason for a cold is that you didn't help other sick people. And you say that's ridiculous. You discount that idea. It means the idea is true, but you say it's not true. Okay? What's the opposite of that?
Brown goat. To think
Uh-huh.
something's more true than it really is.
Drondok.
Yeah.
Okay, drondok means, I don't know, if you take aspirin, you'll always get better. Then you're making more out of aspirin than it really is. Okay, you're making more out of aspirin than it really is. Those are two mistakes in interpreting things. You make it more than it is, or you make it less than it is. Here's the verb for making it less. Who made what less?
The other Panditas.
The lower school
of-
Panditas?
Of Mahayana.
No, just, it means Vaibhashika and...
No, I said of Mahayana. They were.
Oh, they were
discounted.
kundepping Mahayana. They were discounting, underrating
Yeah.
Mahayana. By the way, I translated for my teacher the whole Change, most of it, for 2 years. I took my students there, and those recordings are available, and you should listen to them. They're awesome
They're on the knowledge base.
on the knowledge base, and it's many hours, many hours. And he's a great scholar
Yeah.
of interpretation.
They're amazing
Uh,
classes.
they're amazing, yeah.
Usually I heard some
Literal
of them.
figurative.
Are you doing direct translation or
Yeah, direct translation.
Oh,
Yeah.
it looks like you are like explaining it like in your own
Well, sometimes if he says kondep, I have to explain.
the word or something.
I have to do a little explaining, yeah. But it worked. If people understood it, that was the idea. Dedaki lokto. If he used a word that,
Nobody
a technical word that we don't know, I have to explain what the word means. Like kondep. You know, I can't just say discount. Then people are going to think it was cheaper than before. You know. So. Okay, shekoro chungwete. When they got that discounting, chungwa. Okay, when they started discounting and saying what you're teaching is not the word of the Buddha. Dedaki loktok. Tok without an S. That should set off an alarm.
They realized.
No, lokpa.
Oh, they're wrong.
They're wrong views.
They're wrong.
Okay, they're wrong. Idea in English meaning, you know, that's just his idea. It means false. It means something mistaken. Okay. Sawa.
We're cleared up. No.
Yeah, he wanted to clear it up.
Is that spelled wrong? Isn't it G-S-A-L?
This is a verb. Okay, it's okay.
Really?
Yeah. Could be future tense, I think. Future tense. In order to clear up. Shirdu. Zepa, you know. He made it. He did it.
He did it. Yeah, he did it.
Now, I was struggling over this last night.
What did he do?
There's no object to the verb zepa.
Is it before when it said Ludwig?
Yeah, it just says he made it. It could be this book.
Yeah.
It could be his books. I don't
Middle
know.
way and
I don't see any clear object to this verb. Yeah, I don't see it here. I would say probably it's the, I don't know. He did his work, okay, and then we. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know. Okay. He wrote his writings maybe, you know, in order to clear up their wrong ideas. Okay. Okay. Lopan rang Niki Kyang. Now, maybe you could say he clarified the Buddha's teachings, because later, then the next sentence says, and he himself wrote, okay, and he himself, let's see what's the verb. No, it doesn't have a verb. He presented the rikpa, the reasoning. Okay, the master himself, meaning Nagarjuna, presented the reasoning, which said that, in which he Gokpa, denied, disproved the extremes, and this could be a dualizer. Be careful. The dog could be a dualizer. So in Sanskrit, there are three numbers of nouns. You either say a book, two books, or more than two books. There's three different tenses, three different conjugations, three different declensions. So this happens to be the dual, which makes sense because it's
The two extremes.
it's extremes. Yeah, the extremes. Tripa here means, you had it the other day.
I did. Something like emanate? Or
Yeah, but we talked about it as you had the sky where all tripas are Shiva.
oh, yeah, we're all, I'm trying to remember the word we use. Elaboration.
Yeah, elaborations,
Yeah.
or it means made up extremes. Fanciful extremes, or something like that. Imagined extremes. Find me a word like that.
Figments of imagination is
That's
what I
what you
use.
said before.
Figments is not bad. It's actually 4 sets of 2 tripas. It's 4 sets of 2 figments of your imagination.
Starting and stopping, coming and going.
Yeah, exactly. So tage means the 8 extremes,
Nice.
etc. Meaning he had lots more.
Uh-huh.
I went and got you. Anytime you have a numbered list and there's no list,
Uh-huh.
I think you should have a footnote for your reader. You can't just say avoid the 8 extremes and then keep going. Any reasonable person is going to say, whoa, what was the 8?
Yeah.
So I went and got it for you,
Starting and stopping.
which I'm not going to do every time because you should learn to do it yourself. But I was in a mood yesterday. This is a verse of explanation of the 8-verse Lojong. This is a commentary to Diamond Lion's
Oh, yeah.
8-verse Lojong at the end, where it gets really sexy.
Oh, yeah.
And I like it because he gave the 8 in 2 lines. Kengak, Dakche, Doong, Chiktade. Like boom, 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 boom. You know, that's a nice footnote. You know, you can say, by the way, the commentary to Diamond Lion puts it this way. You know, to get his 8 in 2 lines is really cool. Okay, usually there's like 5 pages. This commentator put them in 2 lines. Ready? Kengak.
King,
Well, how does Geshe Michael like to translate that?
Kinga,
Kewa Dangapa.
stopping and starting.
Good. Stopping and starting and stopping. Takpa Chepa.
Things are all exist as
Unchanging or
changing.
discontinued.
Right, stopped.
Unchanging or discontinued. Draw on.
Coming and going.
Going and coming.
Coming.
Okay. Or Chiktang Tade.
One.
One or many. Okay. One or same or separate. Same or separate. Okay. Those are the 8 extreme, and it refers to the opening lines of
Uma? Wisdom?
wisdom. Shiram. Okay. His book, Nagarjuna's best book. Yeah.
I'm sorry. When you say discontinued,
Yeah.
doesn't that,
What
doesn't
it's
that imply
again.
that it once existed?
Yeah. Well, again, it's meant to be a necessary consequence of thinking that things come from their own side. Okay. Dakpa is a necessary consequence of thinking things come from their own side. If the pen came from its own side, it would have to never run out of ink. Okay. If it came from its own side, then it would never have to run out of ink. So this extreme is not the actual extreme. It's the result of thinking the extreme.
One of the implications.
If it came from its own side, it should never change. Okay? The only reason things change is your karma wears out. It's not that it runs out of ink. Your karma wears out. Okay? If the pen came from the pen and didn't depend on my karma, then it would always be the same. Okay? And when you tell people that, they say, "Oh well, you know, then if it cannot exist out here, then it doesn't exist at all. Then it's unreal. Everything's Maya. Everything's illusion. I can do anything I want." That idea is a consequence of thinking that, you know, if it's in your mind, it's not real. Okay? If my husband is coming from my mind, then, you know, what the hell, I can do anything.
Yeah.
Then he's not real. Okay? Then I can.
Because I don't get why discontinued would be the word.
It's
rather than
a consequence
non-existing.
of thinking that if it's only exists in my mind, it's not real. Which means it would just have to stop. The real thing stopped. That's Chepa. So Chepa is not the extreme view, it's the result of the extreme view. You have to think like that. You can study that for weeks. But, you know, the extreme view, when we say extreme view of Chepa, it's the result of having the extreme view, is to believe that everything would discontinue. You know, then your husband's not real. If he's coming from me, then he just exists in my mind, then he's not real. Of course I can slap him, you know. It's not real.
So the words.
It means not real.
Yeah.
Discontinued. The real thing discontinued, how's that? But it's the passive form of to cut. Like Dorje Jupa, diamond cutter. This is the past tense passive for Chepa. It discontinued. It cut off. It literally means cut off from its own side. Struggle with it.
Thank you.
Okay. Now he's going to quote, right? Am I right? Does that next? So I hit Control X, I hit Command X, right? Command X? Which inserts, you know, this is a commentary by the eight lines, okay? Then you could do it from anywhere else, you choose, but I like that one because it's so short. Chomden ngudang ngumepa kembe katyayana yedanga kuneni yupata mepa nikam kapaze. Chomden de.
The conqueror.
Yeah. He understood, Ken, honorific of Shepa. He understood ngu and ngu mepa. Ngopo and ngopo mepa.
Things that function and things that don't.
Yeah, now here it doesn't mean function.
Things that change and things that don't
It
change.
just means things.
Oh.
Okay? What was real and what wasn't real.
Yeah.
Okay? So sometimes bhava can mean thing. You have to know, you have to develop a feel for it. Okay? Meaning Yapa and Mepa. Okay? He understood what it means to exist and what it means not to exist. Okay? Who?
The Buddha?
The Buddha. The Buddha understood what it means to exist and what it means not to exist. And therefore, okay, bus, right? Therefore, he gakpadze.
He finished? He did the end?
He refused.
Oh, that's good.
Okay? He refused both Yapa and Mepa.
Yeah. Being and not being. Or the
Yeah.
extremes of
Yeah, he refused both that things existed and that they didn't exist from
Yeah.
Katyayana's Dhamma. Okay, so Katyayana is a disciple of the Buddha.
He's one of the 5, wasn't
I
he?
think he's one of the 5
Tiger. and cub.
tiger cubs.
Yeah, yeah. I think he was the. I think he was.
You
the
know this
mom.
story? In a former life, Buddha was a prince, and he met a tiger. In the forest, he found a mommy tiger with 4 cubs, and the mommy tiger was dying, and the cubs didn't have any milk. So he cut open his body, and he laid down next to her, and he allowed her to eat him. But as he's dying, he says, "You 5 have to become my first 5 students when I become a Buddha." And then when he became a Buddha, that was the first 5 students that he taught. They're called the 5. And the main one is Katyayana. Maybe it was the mom. And he understood emptiness first. Okay. Then he wrote a book called The Advices of Katyayana. Okay, Katyayana Dhamma. Sorry, he didn't write the book. It's Advices to Katyayana
Oh.
by Lord Buddha.
It's a sutra, yeah.
So in that Hinayana Sutra, Buddha denied the extremes of existing or non-existing because he understood what's real and what's not real. That's how you should translate this verse. Okay, where does that come from? I went and got it for you because I was in a mood last night. I was into this. I wasn't eating dinner. I was just looking at this. I found a nice book by Sarah Jetson. Okay, this is the main textbook writer from Sarah J, the other half of Sarah. There were 3 colleges of Sarah. Sarah J, Sarah May, and Lakpa Dratsang. So there was a Sarah J, which was higher on the hill. It means higher on the hill, in the old Sarah. And then Sarah May was lower. Lakpa Dratsang was the secret teaching school inside of Sarah. So inside of Sarah there was a tantric school. This one was destroyed completely, Red Guard, okay? Gone, nobody survived, it's gone, okay? These 2 still exist, Sarah J and Sarah May. So the textbook's writer from Sarah J is called Sarah Jetson, and his student was your Kedup Temba Darge. Your author was his student, and he disagreed with his teacher. Yeah, very unusual. And Sarah May people say he improved on his teacher. Sarah J people say he messed up his teacher's teaching. But very unusual, you know. Of course you have to say he would just pretend to disagree or something like that. But we believe his teacher was a great, great, great Lama. And then we believe he sort of improved on his ideas. They disagreed on some points. Not all the monastic textbooks agree with each other. Okay, which is why when you have an inter-monastery debate between every year we do 1 month together, you cannot quote your own textbook. You have to go back to Tsongkhapa, because that's accepted by all monasteries. When you debate non-Tsongkhapa monasteries, you have to go back to Kangir and Tengyur. You see, you have to go back to India. You can't even quote Tsongkhapa. Or you can learn their books, which sometimes we do. One day these Bun guys showed up to the winter debates, and we crammed on their books. Bumbok books. These are non-Buddhist Tibetans. Before Buddhism came to Tibet, there was some kind of shamans. So we learned their books and we wiped them out using their own book. Because you can't use the Tsongkhapa book. You can't even use a Buddhist book with a bun, you see. And they wore blue robes. They wear blue robes. And we had this cool debate. And we couldn't even use the Kangir and Tengyur. We have to use their books. So that was kind of cool. Anyway. So here's I went and got you that quotation. I went and found it for you.
Okay.
In a book by Sarah Jetson. Okay. Kedup Dembadagi's teacher. Okay. And he said, Lopen Legten J.
Master Bhava Viveka.
Yeah, Bhava Viveka. Okay, when you say lower middle way, he's the guy, he's the man. Viveka, Baba Viveka, Baba Viveka. Live around 700, just before Hashang. He's the guy who really opened the lower middle way in the world. Okay, so really that school came last. Because Asanga did mind only before that. Prasangika came before that with Nagarjuna. Sutrist came before that. And Vaibhashika came before that. Okay? You came first. Adam came second. He came third. He came fourth. And then he came fifth. Okay? You are Abhidharma. He's a Sutrist. By the way, you're in there right after him. You're also his school. You guys are, you're both Vaibhashika, Vinaya and Abhidharma. Your school number 1. You came first. Then came Sutra school. Then came
Middle way.
Middle Way, Nagarjuna. Then came
Mando.
Mano. And then you came last, Baba Viveka.
If that's not showed up, it's hard to make sense of it all.
By the way, we're not counting the middle way that showed up and disappeared right after Buddha.
Oh, right.
The Prasangika that showed up and disappeared. We're counting Nagarjuna as the beginning. Okay, so Lopan Lektenje de take mengi denen le chuki dame temba shete he she. Baba Viveka she.
Accepted.
He accepted that chuki dagme,
The Dharma.
the dogma of Chu,
Selflessness.
yeah, the lack of a self nature to things
Things.
as opposed to
People.
people, was taught Demba in take mengi dena.
Take Mengi.
The Abhidharma baskets. Or the lower way baskets. Yeah,
Okay.
teaching.
Baba Viveka, your guy, believed that the lack of a self nature to things, to the table, okay, emptiness of a table, was taught in the lower schools. Abhidharma, Sutras, okay? He believed that, Hinayana. He believed that. Because they mean by Lopan Lektenje, because they, Baba Viveka, believed that he Shepa, this is the third line Shepa, okay? This Shepa. He believed that in this sutra, don't need Demba.
The teachings on emptiness.
Emptiness was taught.
Yeah.
In this sutra, what's the sutra? Katyayana la dampe do. The sutra which was was imparted to Katyayana. Okay. Here's the important word is la. So it's not by Katyayana as I said first. It was taught to him. And that exists in the section of the Kangya called Lung Tensek, which is Hinayana. Okay. Scattered advices or something like that. Scattered word. Lung Tensek. What's the Sanskrit for Tensek? If you care. Do you care?
I do care.
I don't know. How do you spell it? Apostrophe T?
No.
T.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We don't have to get the suffix letters right to find it. Okay. You know that. In fact, it's probably better not to add them in case someone else didn't get them right. What is that called? Itaratami, I guess. Let me just look a little bit more. Yeah, here it is. Kushudra. Kshudraka. Okay. This is the Vinaya Tensei, but
Wait.
Vinaya is what school?
Abhidharma. Lower school.
Vaibhashika. So if that book talks about emptiness, then we can say that
That the Hinayana teaches emptiness.
yeah, that Hinayana teaches emptiness. Okay? Why is that important for our discussion?
He was just trying to say that these teachings have been around.
He's using their own book to.
Yeah, we're trying to say Buddha did teach emptiness in the lower schools. Whose position is that?
That's our master, Jason Kappa.
Who's sitting around this table said that? Who's master? Was it Nagarjuna? Was it Vasabandhu? Was it Gunapabha? Yeah, Baba, it's his master. Your master said that. Okay. Okay. So where did he say that? Where did Baba Viveka say that? Sherab Dunma, the lamp of wisdom. So that's a book by Baba Viveka. So there's your quotation. By the way, if it were me, I would put this one in the footnote because it proves it's talking about the quotation by Baba Viveka, and then I'd go find the quotation by Baba Viveka himself in the Sherab Dunma. So this footnote tells you that this verse is written by this verse in your text by Tsongkhapa. He didn't attribute it, he doesn't tell you who it is, but we just found out it's by Baba Viveka. Baba Viveka. Who's the second greatest person of the lower middle way school? Shantarakshita.
And then Kamala.
Who's the third greatest is Kamalashila. So you have a good lineage. Okay, those three are the most famous people in your school.
I'm just wondering, we already have middle way.
Yeah.
Why do those
Why did the lower middle way show up?
come in later?
They were, we're going to see, but they were sort of, I think their purpose in life was to criticize the mind only. You see, yeah, you see? So Nagarjuna came, then came a Sangha taught mind only, and then Baba Viveka came to criticize the mind only.
Buddha Palita also. Baba Viveka gave Buddha Palita a hard time and Chandrakirti defended him.
Yeah, and Baba Viveka criticized a good Prasangika guy who was proto-Prasangika, sort of very early Prasangika, named Buddha Palita. And then Chandrakirti came to clear up that mess. But that's a long story. Okay. All right. Chepa Tabu. It's verses like this by Baba Viveka, okay, which say that
Relying on
if you rely on the lung of the Tikman,
the scriptures of the Hinayana,
yeah, if you rely on this, even if you, okay, you can see they demonstrate that the real intent of the scriptures was to speak about the emptiness of something having its own nature. Okay. So that's talking about the fact that, Madhyamika people showed up later after Abhidharma spread in the world and became the only viewpoint in its time. Then came Nagarjuna and people like that, and they said, look, everything's, the pen doesn't come from its own side. And the Abhidharma guys said, what are you talking about? Buddha never said anything like that. Then the Madhyamika guys didn't say, oh, Buddha meant that. They showed the lower school scriptures. They said, look, this one's about emptiness. This one's about the pen. They clarified for those Abhidharma guys. Okay. Then here's a famous line. Say Semya, Sushik, de la me. Semya, Sushik, de la me. Me means criticize, talk bad about. Sushik means anybody, okay? De la, to that. Semya means, this is very cool, hot words by Nagarjuna. He said, who would ever criticize this idea who had a mind?
Okay, okay. If you have a brain, you know, how could you criticize this? Meaning, these ideas about emptiness, okay? Meaning, even you lower school guys, if you have any brains at all, in English we say if you have any brains at all, how can you criticize this? It's even in your books. You just didn't understand it, okay? Who said that?
Nagarjuna.
It's by Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna said, if you have guys that have any brains at all, how could you criticize this, okay? Where did he say that? I got it for you. It's another commentary by Jetsun Chuki Gensen. And he attributes it right here. Yeah, he attributes it to the Rinchantara. Ratnavali. Or Ratnamala, depends on how you... I believe in the Tengyur is Ratnavali. By the way, if I were you and I wanted to look smart to the whole world, which is something Geshe Michael really likes, I would put the whole verse. And here's the whole verse. Let's read the whole verse. You read it for us.
Tekpa Chenpo
Means what?
Mahayana
The greater way. Kanshikle.
Kanshikle Ninje
It means from which. Okay. The Mahayana, from which we teach that Chepakun,
the activities
all activities, should be preceded by Nguntang, should be preceded by Ningje.
compassion.
Yeah, you shouldn't do anything without having compassion first. Okay, he's starting on a description of the greater way. Okay, all activities should be preceded by compassion, and it's the guts of it. The Mahayana is Yeshitima Mepa.
The knowledge or the wisdom, that the immaculate wisdom.
Yeah.
That
which explains.
which
Okay.
explains.
So this thing called Mahayana, it explains how all of your activities should be preceded by compassion and should be informed by immaculate wisdom. That's his description of Mahayana. Then he says,
Anyone with a brain?
yeah. How could anybody with a brain criticize that? Starts with compassion. Anything you do, start with compassion and do it with an understanding of the pen. Such a cool system. You know, if you have any brains at all, how can you criticize that? It's a defense of
The Mahayana.
the greater teachings, because people criticized it. His Abhidharma school. Because they hadn't.
Heard of it.
Yeah, they never heard any such teaching. It didn't fit any of their teachings. Okay.
By the way, Geshe, any history about how the middle way disappeared after?
You know, I barely saw any book that said it disappeared. You know, a book about how it disappeared. I've never seen anything more than this. In fact, I've never seen this until we got to it. Now I know where my teacher got it. But there's not much history. I think if you, the traditional explanation would be, you know, if you had a Buddha in your world and you lost the karma to have that Buddha stay in your world, you would also lose the karma to understand middle way. You know, those guys had karma to have Buddha sit with them, and they lost it. He passed away. They wore out. The karma, the seeds wore out. So if they wore out enough seeds to lose their teacher, they probably wore out enough seeds to understand emptiness. Okay, that would be the traditional way to explain it.
Geshe, Mike, it's time.
Yeah.
We're over. People
All
are
right.
texting me to tell me because they're too shy to say anything. So.
Okay.
It's true.
By the way, I'll leave it to you. I'll leave it there. But the next paragraph explains about how Bhava Viveka showed up to criticize the mind only. Okay, after Nagarjuna. Who's the mind only guy, dude? Asanga. Okay, so the next paragraph explains your question. Why did the lower middle way show up? After that, they showed up after Asanga to clarify.
So are we saying that this lower middle way was started by Baba Viveka?
He's the main dude.
He's the main, okay.
Yeah, I think you could say he started it. Yeah, yeah.
How do you spell
And you know, lower middle way. Here's the spelling of Bhava Viveka. Okay, lower middle way. Just to make Sugang feel better, the first 12 years of the Geshe program, half the Geshe program is lower middle way. Okay, the first half. The first thing you study is 12 years of lower middle way. Then you get to higher middle way for 4 years, and you find out everything was wrong. Or many things were wrong, you know. So it's very difficult when a student finishes lower middle way after 12 years. Then you put them in a class and you say, everything we taught you for 12 years was wrong. Okay? It gets very uncomfortable. Those students, typically they have some spiritual crisis at that time. And there's a tradition that after you finish the 12 years of lower middle way, you leave the monastery for a few months. Ken Rinpoche went and stayed in a cave and did prayers so that he could understand the higher middle way. Nowadays, it's traditional for the 12-year class to go fundraise for a few months. But really, it's just a way to go have fun. In India, you can go anywhere. Because you can say, I'm fundraising in North India, bye. You tell your teacher, I'm
fundraising and go.
And you fundraise for the monastery. You come back, and before you start higher middle way, your class makes a gift to the monastery. In my class, we offered a library. Our monastery didn't have a library. So we went out, we all raised money, and we offered a library to the monastery. And we stocked a couple hundred good books in it. We built a small room. And that's why I want these classes to raise money. I want the first class, each class should raise some money. It's a karma thing. Then when you come back, suddenly you understand everything. It's really, okay, because you made good karma.
Sashi Ibuki Jushin Petotram Rira Likshin Inde Kempadi Sangye Shingdu Mikde Uargi Jokun Namdak Shingla Chuparsho Iram Guru Rana Dalakamyatayami Gewa Di Gewokun Sunam Yeshe Sosokshin Sunam Yeshe Lechungwe Tampa Guni Toparsho.
Cool. Super sexy. Man, I love this subject. I want each person to think deep in their heart, I got the best book. But that's a great book.
That's good.
Yeah.
This whole history is amazing.
Yeah, wait till he gets into the subject.
I know.